Hello, Amber here, and welcome back. I've got some updates on some of the fantasy and sci fi book adaptations that I'm really looking forward to, starting out with A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. First off, this is one of the stories I'm most excited to see come to screen, and it's something that I've also covered on the channel. Now, the release for this show was pushed back to next year, but now we have some concrete news with season one premiering in early winter, likely January or February. And episodes are estimated to be at 30 to 35 minutes long. Now, I know the novellas are short, so the 30 to 35-minute episode length isn't exactly surprising, but I will say that coming off of covering Apple TV's adaptation of the Murderbot Diaries, Murderbot, which also has shorter episodes, I'm hesitant about the length. I'm expecting A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms to be very good, considering the source material is really excellent. So I have a feeling these runtimes are going to leave me wanting more. We also know that there will only be 6 episodes per season, which feels somewhat bite sized. Regardless, I'm really excited for this one. I think it has some of the best characters in the A Song of Ice and Fire world, which is pretty high praise considering how great George R. R. Martin is with his character work. Now, the best news regarding this adaptation is that while, yes, the episodes are short and there won't be that many of them, is that we won't have to wait long for season 2 and 3. Filming is said to roll over immediately back to back for the latter 2 seasons, which means it will air yearly. 2026 for season 1, 2027 for season 2, and 2028 for season 3. And this is welcome news considering the wait between seasons just seems to get longer and longer these days within television. And in terms of fantasy television, there's not a whole lot that I'm really looking forward to lately. I've been a little hot and cold on House of the Dragon. I know some series are in the works, like Children of Blood and Bone, which I really wasn't wowed by. And Amazon is taking on Fourth Wing, which also isn't really in my wheelhouse. And there are gobs of other book series within fantasy that are being looked at. And maybe I'm just a little burned out with fantasy. While there are aspects of shows within the genre I really enjoy, I haven't been super excited for anything in the works besides A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. On the other hand, when I look at the sci fi adaptations that are happening, it's the complete opposite. Dune Part 2 was incredible. Murderbot was such a welcome surprise. I've really enjoyed everything in the Three Body Problem universe, whether it be Netflix's adaptation or the Chinese Tencent version. Foundation is great. The Last of Us and Dune Prophecy were also above average, but there's a couple things that are currently in the works that I'm heavily excited about. The first is Project Hail Mary, and I'm not even a huge Ryan Gosling fan. And to be blunt, the character he's playing, Rylan Grace, is a bit of a happy go lucky goober, and despite that, he is so easy to root for. The trailer aired recently, and the visuals look absolutely incredible. This is one of those adaptations that has me really excited. I've read the books along with some of my Discord members, and it's a hell of a ride. If you haven't read it, it's heavy on the science, but also really heartwarming. And if you like your otherworldly creatures, this is a must read. And you've got plenty of time before it releases in theaters March of 2026. Now, the next sci fi adaptation in the works looks very good, and this was one of my surprise favorite reads of the year, which is The Dog Stars by Peter Heller. The setting is a bleak post apocalyptic Earth and revolves around the main character Hig, who is a pilot, his dog Jasper, and his crotchety survivalist neighbor Bangley. There's something really special about this book, and it's not incredibly high stakes, but was the perfect summer read for laying in a hammock in the shade of a big tree. It's really sad, but beautifully written. Out of the 40 or so books I've read this year, it is easily in the top 10, maybe even top 5. And big thanks to Adrian who recommended it to me. Now, just because the book was good doesn't mean it's going to be a banger of a movie, but there are some big names attached to this. It will star Jacob Elordi and Josh Brolin and Benedict Wong. It's also being directed by Ridley Scott, who knows how to do sci-fi. This too will also be released in March of 2026, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next thing on my list of adaptations is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. If you haven't heard of this, it's currently picking up a lot of new readers, and it's another one of the series that was introduced to me on my Discord server. We've currently got a lot of people reading it, and it's about a guy, his girlfriend's cat, and alien overlords that land on Earth and zap everyone into a subterranean Hunger Games RPG style game show. Does it sound unhinged? Yes. Does it have talking blow up dolls, dinosaurs, and alien political drama? Also, yes. And as zany as it sounds, it's peppered with some pretty emotional moments and a cast of characters that people are utterly obsessed with. Now, this adaptation isn't very far in the works. Universal Studios and Seth MacFarlane's Fuzzy Door Productions are doing the project. And so far, there's still a lot of information that hasn't been released. But I will say to keep an eye out on my channel for anything new. I'm eagerly awaiting news of who is going to play Carl. And the last sci-fi adaptation that has me super excited is The Captives' War by James S.A. Corey, which was picked up by Prime Video, which is another series I've covered on my channel. The setting takes place in a distant future and revolves around a group of scientists as they are invaded by a hostile alien species. It's a lot drier than The Expanse and serious in tone, and with the main characters all being scientists, it falls into that category of series that I personally really enjoy. One where science and intuition take the lead with no real action hero-y characters to jump in and save the day, at least so far. But the thing I'm really looking forward to is how the adaptation depicts all the otherworldly creatures, and there are absolute heaps of them in the series. It sounds like a very expensive undertaking, and the adaptation is bringing a lot of The Expanse alumni with them. Nareen Shankar will write and produce, with Breck Eisner directing, and of course, Ty Frank and Daniel Abraham will also be involved as writers on the show as well. Authors don't always have direct involvement in their book adaptations, so it will be good to see what comes next. I really enjoyed the first book of the series, The Mercy of Gods, and the novella Live Suit was really good with some horror elements worked in. I'm really hyped on this project. There hasn't been any update since the news broke that it was greenlit, but this is something I really can't wait for. Science fiction has been really hitting it out of the park lately, and there's really so much to look forward to, and these are just the book adaptations I'm looking forward to, not including a whole host of other shows and movies. And before I wrap things up, I just wanted to mention my Discord server again, because if you're someone who is looking for book recommendations, or if you're just looking for some people to group read something with, it's a nice place to start. Also, last bit of channel news, but I'm seriously considering changing my name here on YouTube. This has been something that I had been thinking about all the way back in 2022, and I'm still in the brainstorm headspace of it all. So if you've been a fan of the channel for a long time, I thought it would be a good idea to prepare people. Do I have a name I love? No, not yet. And if you've been around for a while, you probably know me pretty well. So if you want to put forth any submissions, hey, you could help me name my channel. I cover so much more than the Wheel of Time, and I don't think my current YouTube handle reflects that. So it's a good time for some change. And if you'd like to help support the channel, you can do that by becoming a YouTube member or becoming a Patreon member. If that doesn't sound like your type of thing, hit the like button so others will find the video. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that button for more. I'll be back with more videos soon, and I'll see you then.